Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are watching from. Ty Talk Sports here, and I am back with another NBA Finals prediction video. Game 5 is here, and we're going to be doing exactly what we have done during the course of these finals on Ty Talk Sports. We're going to talk about the previous game. We're going to talk about expectations for what's going to happen in the next game, X Factor players, and our final prediction on what I believe will be happening in Game 5 of the finals. So to recap, Game 4, it was a back and forth battle for most of the game. And then Denver went on a run late in the third. And Miami did a decent job of trying to chip away at it, but Denver did not let Bruce Brown was amazing down the stretch. He had a great game off the bench. He had 30 minutes with 21 points, 3 of 5 from downtown, 8-11 from the field on a very efficient game for Bruce Brown, and he was one of the deciding factors which led Denver to ultimately winning Game 4 and going up in the series 3-1. Miami continued to struggle their role players were just not playing great basketball. Jimmy Butler led the way with 25, but the next closest was Bam with 20, and then some of them did pretty well. Duncan Robinson had 12 points. He had a nice, efficient game, 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. Caleb Martin showed up a little bit. He had 11 points, and Kyle Lowry played decently as well, as he had 13. But Miami just continues to struggle as Denver is showing how well of a talented team they are and how overall they are just the better team in this series going forward since the start of the finals. And Game 5, how can you not really want to pick Denver? They're up 3-1. They took both games in Miami, and now they are going home to potentially seal their first ever NBA Finals championship, which I think at this point you gotta put the money on Denver. I expect Nikola Jokic to have just a statement game. We all know that Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray have just flat out dominated during these playoffs and have played extremely, extremely well during these NBA Finals as well. The whole Denver Nuggets team has just stepped up. Miami, during the course of the season, they were one of the lowest scoring teams in basketball, and it looks like that they have found that regular season identity during these NBA Finals, which sucks because Miami played so well during these playoffs, beating Milwaukee, New York, and Boston. It just felt like that Miami could have had a chance to really take this series, but man, Denver has shown that they are as good as they say they are, as good as the numbers show, and I fully expect it to be another Denver Nuggets dominant basketball game. I think Miami is going to try and fire on all cylinders early. We've seen how Jimmy Butler responds when he has his back against the wall, but he has not done that in this series. He played great in Game 2, but Games 3 and 4, he was not the X Factor player that I was expecting him to be, because we have seen how Jimmy Butler will step up in the clutches of whenever his back is against the wall, and we did not see that from him or any of the other Miami Heat players, because it's unfortunate. It really is, and I think that Denver is going to keep carrying this momentum into Game 5 where they go back up into the Mile High City. Nikola Jokic, I think, will have a triple-double. I fully expect him to have one of those statement games. Jamal Murray, he's going to get the scoring going early, as he has all series. And once he does that, I think it's just going to be hard for him to stop. When Jokic and Murray get going and they are reading each other's minds, they are arguably the hardest team to beat in basketball. And for a Miami Heat team down 3-1, the atmosphere in Denver is going to be incredible. Those fans are going to be loud. They're going to show up. They're going to show out. And it's going to be one heck of a game. I think this is just going to be an all-out Denver domination. I think that for the overall game feel, I think it could be another one of those games where we see it competitive for maybe a half or 3 quarters, but then in the fourth quarter, someone's going to run away with it. Whether it's Denver or it's Miami, someone is going to run away with the game, as Denver has done in all 3 of their wins. It's a close game for 36 minutes, 24 minutes, and then in the second half or the fourth quarter, they just show up. They turn up defensively, they get buckets. Denver is just an unbeatable team whenever they respond in the second half the way they do whenever the games are close. And I expect Denver to do the exact same thing. I think Miami will keep it close for a relatively good part of the game. I think we could see it where they keep it close for about 3 quarters, And then Denver has the finish line in sight, and they want it more, and they're going to go after it. I think that's how the overall feel of this game is going to be. I think it's going to be physical. Obviously, the refs, how is that going to be a factor? Because it's been a poorly officiated series on both sides for quite a while now. Going back to game 2, a little bit in game 1. I mean, the officiating has not been the best, and so we have to figure out how that's going to look. How is it going to be a physical game? Are they going to let some calls slide? Are they going to be all hands on deck with the whistles? We don't know. So we'll be looking to see how that's going to affect the game. But I think this is just going to be something where Denver, no matter what the situation is, they're going to take over. And this is obviously going to be one of the shorter predictions just because I'm so confident in the way that Denver's playing basketball right now that I think they're going to go home and they are going to seal the deal and secure the Larry O'Brien for the first time in franchise history. My X Factor players for both teams. I'll start off with Miami. You just got to look at Jimmy Butler because you are wanting your big-time players to show up in a big-time game, and Jimmy Butler has done that before. But honestly, I actually want to switch it over. Let's just look at the whole Miami Heat roster. I mean, you need everybody to step up. Yes, obviously, in the crutches where the clock is ticking, you want Jimmy Butler to step up and be the guy who leads the team to the promised land and to a victory. But the whole team just has to step up because they have not done that. I mean, 93 points in game 1, and then obviously they get game 2, but 94, 95. Denver has done an incredible job defensively on this Miami Heat team who played so well during the course of any other series that they played. So you obviously want Jimmy Butler to step up and be your best player down the stretch. But this whole Miami Heat roster has to step up. I mean, just everybody. You're wanting everyone to step up. I wouldn't be shocked if we see Tyler Hero return, even if he isn't 100%. If he's 85, 90, I could absolutely see him returning because they need his scoring. They need him to come out and they need him to shoot some threes. They need him to get 20 points or something like that because, I mean, Max Strus in Game 4, 0 points, 0 for 4 from the field, 0 for 3 from downtown. Gabe Vincent struggled once again after having a great performances in Games 1 and 2. And then Gabe Vincent in Game 4, 19 minutes, 1 for 6 of the floor, 0 for 4 from downtown. I mean, Miami has needed their role players to be great, and they have not been great by any means. They were great in Game 2, but that was it. That was really it for this Miami Heat roster. You need them to be great, and that's what they haven't done. So I'm looking for just, obviously, you want Jimmy Butler to be a Jimmy Butler Himothy performance, but if no one else is going to play well, it's over. It really is going to be over. And no matter if Jimmy Butler goes out there and drops 100, if the rest of the team isn't going to play well, Denver will have it wraps. For my X Factor, for the Denver Nuggets, I'll probably just go with the future Finals MVP. I'm just going to go with Nikola Jokic because you know what he'll do. And obviously, this is obviously a big closeout game, so you're going to want to see what type of performance your superstar franchise player, you're going to want to see what he has to prove to himself and to the world where he can seal his first ever championship. Is he going to fade away when the lights get as bright as they are, or is he going to step up and have his moment and not fall away from that? Because I could absolutely see Nikola Jokic shining in this opportunity, and that's what I look for him to do. If Nikola Jokic seizes this opportunity like he has during the course of the finals, and he goes out and he plays extremely well, he has a triple-double, he has one of those Nikola Jokic dominant games, it is over. It is going to be over. And even if guys like Michael Porter Jr. continue to struggle, you can rely on everyone else. I mean, Aaron Gordon led the way with 27 in Game 4 plus 29. Super efficient game for Aaron Gordon. Jamal Murray, you can count on him to go out there and get buckets. And like I said, if Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray start the game off on the same page and they continue to play that way, it's going to be hard for Miami to try and win this thing, because when they play at the same pace on the same page, they are arguably the most unstoppable duo in the NBA. So for my final lock-in prediction for Game 5, I'm going to be taking the Denver Nuggets to wrap up this series, and it is going to be a little bit of a larger margin. I got it being 112 to 98. I think this is just one of those games, like I said, where Denver is going to run away with it in the fourth quarter, and they are going to lock in their first ever title as a franchise. And Nikola Jokic will win his first Finals MVP. I would like to see Miami pull something off, but I just don't think it's going to happen. So that is it here for this prediction video on Tide Talk Sports. If you did enjoy, make sure you drop a subscribe, guys. 97.8% of my viewers who watch my videos are not subscribed, which means there's so much room for growth, and that makes me so excited. But let's hit that subscribe button, man. It allows me to push my content out to so much more of this platform. If you guys did enjoy, thank you so much for watching till the very end of this video. Let me know who you got for Game 5. And until next time, this is Tide Talk Sports signing off. See you guys.